The desert holds a silence unlike any other, a silence so vast it echoes not with sound, but with thirst. Imagine walking across endless dunes, the sun fierce upon your brow, each step sinking into the shifting sands. Your tongue clings to the roof of your mouth, your body cries for relief, and all around you nothing but dryness. Now picture turning a single corner, stumbling upon an oasis where palm trees lean in graceful arcs over a pool of shimmering blue. The sight alone is enough to bring tears, for here life bursts forth, where moments ago death seemed certain. Such is the law of water. Where there is water, there is life. Where there is flow, there is prosperity. And where there is stagnation, the soul withers. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, where in my life have I built deserts, places of dryness, fear of money, lack of confidence, absence of peace, where I have believed lack to be natural? And have you also noticed that when a single drop of new belief enters, when even one current of hope stirs, the whole desert begins to bloom? Water is not only the element that sustains your body, it is the original mirror of wealth. It whispers abundance is not earned, it flows. Rivers do not strive to move around rocks. They glide, they reshape the land they find their way. Water never doubts its path, for it knows every drop belongs to the sea. Consider the story of a traveler who had lost his way in a barren land. He carried a small flask, nearly empty. Each sip he took, he feared it would be the last. But when at last he reached a stream, he drank freely without thought of tomorrow. He bathed, he rested, and in that moment, he knew the wealth of the world is measured not by what is hoarded, but by what is flowing. For the stream did not cease when he drank. The stream did not ration its gift. It poured endlessly because giving is its nature. And so it is with life. Prosperity is not a rigid pile of coins to be counted. It is a living current to be received. Pause now and breathe deeply. Feel into your own body, which is itself made mostly of water. You are not separate from the rivers, the oceans, the rains. You are a vessel of flow. Can you sense it? The pulse of your blood, the rise and fall of your breath, the moisture on your tongue. All of this is wealth already moving through you. Many of us have been taught to see money, love, and health as scarce commodities, as though we stand forever in the desert with only one drop left in the flask. But the truth is that we live in a world where oceans stretch beyond the horizon, where rivers run without ceasing, where clouds replenish the land in cycles eternal. Scarcity is the lie. Flow is the law. Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded her students that prosperity is not something we must chase, but something we must allow. Just as a river does not beg the mountain to give way, but simply carves its course, so must we remember prosperity flows through us when we stop damming the current with fear, resentment, or doubt. Think now of your own life as a river. Where does it run clear and free? Perhaps in your friendships, where laughter flows easily. Where does it feel dammed or dried up? Perhaps in your finances, where worry stands like rocks across the stream. This is not to condemn yourself, but to awaken memory. Water teaches us that no rock is permanent, no drought eternal. With patience, with persistence, with faith, the current always finds its way. Let us make a covenant in this moment. We remember water as wealth. We remember that life does not demand struggle, but invites flow. And we remember that even in deserts, oases await. Before we move deeper, I invite you, if these words resonate with the rivers within your soul, to subscribe and stay updated with new relaxing videos. Support this channel so we may continue creating peaceful content that helps you rest, recharge, and remember the flow of abundance in your own life. For today, carry with you this image, a river moving endlessly around every obstacle, carving beauty where once stood resistance flowing toward the sea of infinite supply. For as surely as the river belongs to the ocean, so too do you belong to prosperity. There is a phrase spoken with the quiet certainty of a spiritual law. Your word is your wand. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote these words nearly a century ago, but their resonance has only grown stronger with time. She knew, as mystics before her and scientists after her would discover, that the words we speak are not mere sounds floating into silence. They are commands, spells, vibrations that imprint themselves upon the unseen substance of life. Consider this: every word is a seed. When you plant a seed in fertile soil, water carries its essence into the earth. Without water, the seed remains dormant, its potential locked away. But the moment the soil is moistened, life stirs. Roots stretch, leaves rise, and the invisible becomes visible. Words are the seeds, water is the carrier. Together, they create form. Pause for a moment and imagine holding a glass of clear, still water. Look at it as though you are seeing it for the first time. Notice how it reflects light, how it seems both empty and full at once. Now imagine whispering into it, I am abundant. I am free. All doors open for me now. The words do not disappear into the air. They impress themselves upon the water, which when you drink, flows into every cell of your being. Your body becomes the living witness of your spoken truth. Is this fantasy? Or is it law science is beginning to catch up with what spiritual teachers have always known? Experiments show that water responds to sound, to music, to spoken word. Crystals form differently under words of love than under words of hate. And if this is true of a single glass of water, consider you yourself are made mostly of water. What then is the effect of the words you speak about yourself day after day? Florence told a story of a woman who constantly spoke of her poor health and poor finances. It was no surprise that her life mirrored her speech. Another woman, however, declared daily, I have a wonderful work in a wonderful way. I give wonderful service for wonderful pay. And though at first it seemed fanciful, doors began to open. Opportunities arrived. The invisible currents of life rearranged themselves to meet the vibration of her word. Perhaps you too have seen this in your own life. Think back to a time when you spoke with certainty, whether in joy or in fear. Did not the world quickly align to prove you right? Did the job not appear after you affirmed your readiness? Did the delay not grow longer after you muttered, this will take forever? Words like seeds cannot help but grow when spoken with feeling. Let us return to the image of water. Picture a river running through a village. The villagers may choose to throw garbage into it, polluting the stream, or they may honor it, tending its banks and blessing its flow. The river itself does not resist. It receives whatever is given. And yet in time, the quality of that river shapes the life of the village. So it is with our speech. If we cast words of fear, anger, or doubt into the waters of our own body and soul, they cannot help but return to us in form. If instead we bless the waters with words of gratitude and strength, our lives reflect that blessing. Here lies the great invitation to speak consciously, deliberately, as one who knows that the tongue is the rudder of the ship. I recall a personal moment, seemingly small but unforgettable. I had misplaced a cherished ring, one that carried deep, sentimental value. After hours of searching, frustration welled up, and I heard myself saying, "It's lost forever." Instantly, a sinking finality entered my chest, as though I had cast a stone into still waters rippling outward. Catching myself, I stopped. I closed my eyes and whispered into a glass of water nearby. All that is mine comes to me with ease. Nothing is ever lost in the divine mind. I drank slowly, feeling the words sink into me. Within the hour, I found the ring in the pocket of a coat I had forgotten. Was it coincidence, or had my words shifted the current? I cannot say with proof, but I know which truth my soul believes. Try it yourself. Take a glass of water before bed. Hold it with reverence as though it were liquid gold. Speak into it a phrase of life. I wake refreshed and renewed. Then drink it with awareness. In the morning, notice how your body responds. This is not superstition. It is alignment with law. Your word carried by water travels deep into the subconscious. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "You cannot always control your thoughts, but you can control your words." And indeed, the spoken word becomes the guardian of the mind. Thoughts may swirl like clouds, but words are thunder. They carry power. They command the atmosphere. Therefore, beloved soul, ask yourself now, what words have I been planting into my waters? Do I speak of lack calling deserts into my own land? Or do I speak of flow, inviting rivers into my fields? The good news is this: at any moment, you may begin anew. One affirmation, one declaration, one blessed word spoken into water can begin the shift. Let us pause here gently. Place your hand over your heart. Imagine the waters within you listening. Whisper softly, "I bless you. I love you. I am one with abundance," and so it is. There is a mystery hidden in every drop of water, a secret that has fascinated both sages and scientists. Water remembers. Think of your own memory for a moment, the way a fragrance can carry you back to childhood, or how a familiar melody can unlock tears long uncried. If your mind and heart can hold impressions, why not the very substance that composes most of your being? In the late 20th century, a Japanese researcher named Masaru Emoto began a series of experiments that would astonish the world. He exposed water samples to different words, sounds, and even emotions, then froze them to examine the crystals formed under a microscope. What he discovered seemed almost magical. Water exposed to words like love and gratitude formed intricate, symmetrical, snowflake-like patterns. But water that had been subjected to anger, hatred, or neglect formed chaotic, distorted shapes, jagged and incomplete. Imagine for a moment the implications. If water, the same water you drink, the same water flowing through your veins, responds to vibration, then your words, your thoughts, even your silent feelings are shaping the very matter of your body. Skeptics argued, of course, that the experiments could not be replicated with perfect consistency. But beyond the debate of science and method lies a truth ancient cultures have always known: water listens. Indigenous traditions around the world speak of rivers as living beings of wells that must be approached with prayer, of rain that responds to song. For them, Emoto's discoveries were not new. They were confirmation of wisdom carried for millennia. Consider another simple experiment you can try yourself. It is often called the rice test. Cook some plain white rice and divide it into 2 jars. On one jar, write words of love: "Thank you. I bless you. You are beautiful." On the other jar, write words of neglect or insult. You are worthless. I hate you. Place them side by side, and each day speak the corresponding words to each jar. Within weeks, the rice blessed with love remains fresh, while the rice cursed with neglect turns moldy and rotten. Now pause, breathe, and let that image sink in. If grains of rice so small, so humble, respond to the vibration of words carried by water, what of your own life? What of your dreams? What of the body that houses your soul? The truth is both sobering and liberating. You are the speaker, and you are the water. You are both the one casting the spell and the one receiving it. Each thought, each phrase is a vibration shaping your form and your future. Let me tell you a story. A man once came to a healer weary and ill. He had tried medicines, diets, and rest, but nothing restored him. The healer gave him a simple practice. Each morning before you drink your glass of water, speak into it these words: "Every cell of my body radiates health and light." Then drink slowly as if you are drinking the truth. The man obeyed. At first, he felt nothing, but after weeks of repetition, he noticed his energy shifting, his pain receding, his vitality returning. He had not merely been drinking water, he had been drinking affirmation carried into the deepest parts of his being. Water is a mirror. It reflects whatever is placed before it. Hold it in a crystal glass on a sunny day, and it will scatter rainbows across the room. Hold it in a dirty vessel, and it will carry the grime of its container. So too with the words you pour into it. And yet this mirror is more than passive. It is active, creative, transformative. Just as a river reshapes valleys, water reshapes matter through vibration. Every ritual of blessing, whether pouring libations to the earth, sprinkling holy water in sacred rites, or whispering prayers over a newborn, is a recognition of this mystery. Water is the carrier of intent. Perhaps you have felt this yourself. Have you ever tasted water after prayer? It seems sweeter, more alive, more nourishing, though nothing visible has changed. That sweetness is the vibration imprinted within it. Here, then, is the bridge where science meets spirit. Modern instruments measure vibration, frequency, crystalline structures. Ancient wisdom speaks of blessing prayer and living waters, and both in their own language affirm the same truth: water holds memory, and that memory shapes life. Take this to heart. When you speak into water, you are not performing a child's game or indulging in superstition. You are participating in one of the oldest laws of creation. You are impressing your desire upon the most receptive element in the natural world. So let us practice together even now. Imagine a clear pool before you, calm and still. Lean close as though whispering to a beloved. Speak within your soul, I am whole. I am provided for. My path is clear. Now imagine those words shimmering across the surface, sinking into the depths, imprinting themselves on every drop. Picture yourself drinking from that pool, the words entering your bloodstream, your bones, your very breath. Do you feel it? A softening, a remembrance, a shift. That is not imagination, it is law in action. Let us remember the same ocean that holds the memory of tides, storms, and calms also holds the memory of blessings. The same rain that nourishes fields has heard the prayers of farmers for centuries. The same river that flows past your city carries songs sung by generations long gone. Water remembers, and now it remembers you. Every river, no matter how strong, encounters rocks. Some are small stones that the water glides over with ease. Others are great boulders obstructing the current causing turbulence, slowing the flow. And yet no rock is greater than the river itself. Given time, water will wear it down, carve a new channel, or rise until it spills over. So too is the path of your prosperity. Fear, doubt, resentment, and guilt, these are the rocks that appear in the stream of your abundance. They do not destroy the current, but they do delay, divert, or trouble its flow. Let us pause and ask honestly, where are my rocks? Do you feel them in the unease when bills arrive? In the hesitation before asking for what you deserve? In the hidden belief that wealth is for others, not for you? These are not permanent fixtures. They are momentary obstructions, illusions that appear solid until the current proves otherwise. Florence Scovel Shinn often taught that every block in life is but a false picture impressed upon the mind. Fear says the stream will run dry. Doubt whispers, I am not worthy of the flow. Resentment mutters, why should they have more than I? And guilt sighs, I must pay a price to receive. Each of these thoughts is a rock thrown into the current, but none has the power to halt the water forever. Picture for a moment a mighty river pressing against a dam. At first, the dam appears unbreakable, towering, immovable. Yet behind it, the water builds and builds, gathering strength. Then comes the crack, the first small shift, until suddenly the flood bursts forth unstoppable. So it is when you release even a fraction of your fear. The river of abundance, which never ceased flowing, rushes forward to meet you. Let me share with you a story. A woman once came to Florence lamenting her lack of money. Every time she thought of prosperity, her mind filled with guilt. I do not deserve wealth when so many suffer. This guilt was her rock damming the current. Florence reminded her gently, you cannot help the poor by being poor yourself. You are here to be a channel of supply, not a clogged stream. With this shift, the woman began to affirm, I am in tune with the inexhaustible supply. I let go of guilt, and I let the river flow through me. Soon, opportunities arose, and her finances healed, not for hoarding, but for circulation. Her flow nourished others as well as herself. What are your rocks made of? Perhaps fear of failure learned in childhood. Perhaps the belief that money is the root of evil. Perhaps resentment toward those who seem to prosper unjustly. Whatever their shape, know this water has patience beyond measure. It will smooth even the roughest stone. It will not stop until it reaches the sea. And here is a secret. Often the rocks we fear most are not as solid as they appear. They are shadows of thought phantoms given weight only by our attention. Fear dissolves when faced. Doubt shrinks when named. Resentment softens when released. And guilt fades when replaced with gratitude. Imagine yourself standing at the bank of a river. In your hands, you hold a stone representing one of your blocks. Perhaps it is carved with the word fear. Perhaps unworthiness. Perhaps resentment. Feel its weight. Acknowledge it. And now, cast it into the water. Watch as the current takes it, tumbling it away, smoothing its edges, carrying it far downstream. You are lighter now. Your hands are free. Remember, the river is never afraid of the rocks. Why should you be afraid of your obstacles? They are temporary passing, already being worn away by the persistent flow of life. So when you feel blocked, do not curse the rocks. Bless the water. Align yourself with flow. Say aloud, this fear is not mine. I release it. This doubt has no power. I let it go. This resentment serves me not. I surrender it. I am the current. I am the flow. Breathe. Feel the relief as the inner dam begins to crack. the river surges once more. And if today you stand before what feels like an immovable wall, know this: it is only a pause in the current, not the end of the flow. For water, like life, cannot be stopped. It will always find a way. Every sacred story begins with a covenant, a promise, a vow, a choice to walk in alignment with something greater than oneself. In the ancient world, covenants were sealed with rituals, tokens, and words spoken aloud. They were not contracts written in ink, but living bonds woven into the fabric of existence. Today, beloved soul, you are invited into such a covenant with abundance. You have walked with me through the desert and the oasis, through rivers and rocks, through the whispers of memory in the water itself. You have seen how words shape flow, how beliefs carve channels, how fear may dam the current, but never stop it entirely. Now it is time to step beyond knowing and into choosing. A covenant begins with decision. Lack or flow, desert or river, fear or faith, you cannot serve both. The world may cry of scarcity, but your soul knows the truth. Abundance is your natural inheritance. The river does not ask, "Am I worthy to flow?" It flows because it is made to flow. And so are you. Pause for a moment and imagine yourself at the edge of a great pool of water, clear as crystal, shimmering with light. This pool represents divine supply, infinite and eternal. As you stand before it, you sense that it has always been waiting for you, not as a stranger, but as a beloved. You are not here to beg for drops. You are here to step into the current and claim your place as one with the flow. Say within yourself, "I choose flow." Let those words echo. Again, "I choose flow." This is your covenant. Not with struggle, not with lack, not with fear, but with life itself, which is always abundant. Florence Scovel Shinn often reminded her students that the subconscious mind accepts what is repeated with feeling. The old covenant of lack was written in phrases such as, "I can't afford it, I never have enough," or "it always goes wrong for me." Those words impress themselves upon the waters of your being, creating deserts where there could have been gardens. But now you speak a new word. You write a new covenant. You declare, "I am one with infinite supply. I choose flow, and flow chooses me." Consider the rituals of old covenants sealed with stones, set upright with wine poured out, with names spoken under the heavens. Let us in our own way seal this covenant. Take a glass of water. Hold it gently, reverently. Look into its depth as though you are gazing into eternity. Say aloud, "This water is sacred. This water carries my covenant." As I drink the flow of abundance. I release all ties to lack. I bind myself to prosperity. I choose flow. Drink slowly. Feel the water enter you, carrying the words into every cell. This is no idle gesture. It is the very law of vibration impressed upon the element that sustains you. And let us remember, covenants are not burdens. They are not chains. They are promises that free us into alignment. When you choose flow, you do not bind yourself to toil, you free yourself from it. You no longer chase you, no longer beg you, no longer fear. You receive as rivers receive the rain, as oceans receive the rivers, as the earth receives the sun. There may be days when the old covenant whispers again, when fear rises like a ghost. But remember, each time you repeat, "I choose flow," you renew your vow. Each time you bless the water, you strengthen the current. Each time you affirm abundance, you carve a deeper channel for the river to run through your life. Beloved soul, this is your new covenant. You are not a creature of lack. You are a vessel of flow. If these words stir something deep within you, I invite you seal it publicly. Write in the comments, I choose flow. In speaking it aloud, in writing it down, you affirm before the universe that you stand with the river, not against it. The covenant is simple. It is not heavy. It requires only remembrance. When you forget, speak again. When you falter, drink again. When you fear, return to the water and whisper, I choose flow. For you were never meant to wander forever in deserts. You were born to walk beside rivers, to drink deeply of life, to overflow with blessing. And so it shall be. Every true covenant longs for a place of remembrance. The heart requires not only intention, but also atmosphere, a sanctuary where the invisible becomes tangible, where ritual gives form to faith. Just as temples are built to honor the divine, you may create a sacred space to honor the flow of abundance through water. This space need not be vast nor filled with ornate objects. It need only be intentional. A corner of your room, a small table, a window ledge bathed in light, anywhere you choose to pause and remember your covenant. What makes it sacred is not its size, but your reverence. Begin with the vessel. Choose a glass that feels beautiful in your hands. It need not be expensive. It must simply be one you set apart, reserved for your practice. In time, you will recognize it as more than a glass. It will become an altar in itself, a reminder that every sip can carry blessing. Florence Scovel Shinn would remind us that symbols impress the subconscious. By choosing a vessel intentionally, you impress upon your mind, this water is holy. This ritual is real. Now set the stage. Place your glass where it may catch the light, perhaps near a candle whose flame dances like the eternal spark, perhaps by a plant which reminds you of growth and life, perhaps near a crystal of flower or a simple cloth that delights your eye. These are not decorations, they are companions in your ritual, each bearing silent testimony to the beauty of your covenant. Close your eyes and imagine entering this space. You feel the hush of stillness as though the very air has softened. A candle flickers. The glass before you gleams. The world outside continues its noise, but here within your sanctuary, there's only flow. Take a seat. Place your hands gently around the glass palms, warming its sides. Breathe deeply. With each inhale, feel the waters of life entering you. With each exhale, feel the burdens of the day leaving. When your breath has steadied, whisper your word into the water. I choose flow. I choose abundance. I am one with the river of supply. Do not rush. Speak slowly as though the water were listening, and it is. Imagine your words sinking into its depth, imprinting themselves like ripples across a still pond. When ready, lift the glass to your lips and drink. Drink with awareness, not as one quenching thirst, but as one receiving covenant. Feel the coolness on your tongue, the flow down your throat, the life moving into your body. This is not an ordinary act. This is communion. Over time, the space itself will carry memory. Just as water remembers, so does atmosphere. Each repetition will deepen the vibration until simply by approaching your sacred corner, you will feel a shift peace, descending faith, awakening abundance near. To strengthen this practice, you may add sound. Play gentle music or chant softly. Flow, flow, flow. Sound is vibration, and vibration impresses deeply upon water. Allow your voice to be part of the ritual, not perfect, but true. You may also add light. A candle, yes, or perhaps sunlight caught in a prism scattering rainbows across the glass. Each color reminds you abundance is not gray and narrow. but radiant, diverse, infinite in expression. And you may add touch. Trace your fingers along the rim of the glass before drinking as though sealing it with your own energy. Or gently tap the glass 3 times, a rhythm of completion, body, mind, and spirit aligned in flow. These small gestures are not superstition. They are signals to the subconscious saying, here in this space, I remember who I am. I remember the river. I remember abundance. Do not underestimate the power of place. A desk is for work, a bed is for sleep, and over time the body responds automatically when entering either. So too with your sacred space. The more you return, the more quickly your heart opens, the more naturally abundance flows. Consider this: even the busiest river has quiet banks where one may sit and watch the current. Your sacred space is that quiet bank. Life may swirl with demands and distractions, but here you sit beside the eternal stream. Let us walk through the ritual together in imagination. You wake in the morning before the world makes its demands. You go to your sacred corner. The glass awaits you empty ready. You fill it with fresh water, watching as it swirls and settles. You light a candle, its flame rising. You sit hands around the glass and whisper, "Today, I flow with ease." Doors open before me. I walk in abundance. You drink slowly, reverently. A warmth spreads through you. You rise, ready for the day, not striving, but flowing. At night, before sleep, you return again. You fill the glass, perhaps only halfway. You whisper, "I rest in peace." I wake renewed. My dreams are blessed. You drink and you lay down. As your body sinks into rest, the words move through you, carried by water into the depths of your subconscious. Your night becomes a current of renewal. Day after day, repetition builds power. Words become belief. Belief becomes form. Form becomes experience. And in time, this small practice reshapes not only your inner world, but your outer. Opportunities appear, resources arrive, relationships heal. You notice coincidences, what Florence called miracles, and you smile, for you know the river is flowing freely now. Beloved soul, your sacred space is not just a corner in your home. It is a corner of eternity, carved out for you to remember who you are. You are not a beggar in the desert. You are not a wanderer without supply. You are the river flowing endlessly from the infinite source. If you are ready, let this be your invitation. Create your sacred space today. Do not wait for the perfect objects, the perfect setting. Begin with what you have. A single glass of water placed with intention is enough. For what matters most is not the decoration, but the decision. Not the objects, but the covenant. Not the ritual, but the remembrance. And so, as you close your eyes tonight, see before you a sacred space glowing softly, a vessel of water waiting to be blessed, and your own voice whispering, "I choose flow." The river hears, the water remembers, the covenant is sealed. Imagine a clear glass of water before you. It rests quietly, reflecting the light of the room, a mirror of stillness and purity. Now pause and recognize this is not just water. This is living substance. This is liquid memory, a vessel ready to hold your decree. For just as ink colors a stream, so does your word color the very structure of this water. And when you drink, you take that decree into the temple of your body. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Your word is your wand." And today, your wand touches water. To decree into water is to plant wealth at its most elemental level. Water flows everywhere. It moves without resistance. It carries what you entrust to it. So when you speak prosperity into water, you are aligning with the most obedient messenger in creation. Science now confirms what mystics have always known: water responds to vibration. Dr. Masaru Emoto's famous experiments showed that words spoken with love formed beautiful crystalline patterns in frozen water, while words of hate produced chaos. If this is true for a single drop, imagine the symphony of order when you speak abundance, prosperity, and divine supply into your daily glass. Your voice is a tuning fork. The tone you choose, whether commanding or doubtful, becomes the seed. To decree wealth into water, you must speak with authority, not asking, not pleading, but commanding as one who knows the universe hears. Think of water as fertile soil. Words are seeds. You cannot plant vague seeds and expect a harvest. A farmer who tosses random handfuls of seed without clarity will reap confusion. But when you name the seed corn, wheat, apple, the soil obeys. The same is true here. Vague decrees dissolve. Specific decrees crystallize. That is why you must call money by name, not abundance someday. But I decree $10,000 to flow into my hands before September 30th. This is not arrogance, it is precision. A letter without an address never arrives. A decree without a number and a date floats endlessly. But the addressed decree planted in water is delivered. Now let us practice together. Place your hands gently around your water. Feel its coolness. Sense its willingness. Take a breath and with full authority speak after me. I will leave space for you to repeat. Say aloud, I decree unlimited prosperity now. I decree money flows to me freely, joyfully, endlessly. I decree $10,000 manifests in my life by September 30th. I decree every dollar carries joy, ease, and divine blessing. Feel the resonance in your body. Notice how the words land. This is not begging, this is commanding. You are planting wealth in water. Tone is everything. If you whisper your decree timidly, the water hears timidity. If you bark your decree harshly, the water hears strain. But when you declare with calm, anchored authority firm, as sunlight sure as the tide, the water hears certainty. Authority is not volume. Authority is alignment. It is the inner knowing that your words are law. Florence Scovel Shinn often said, "Nothing stands between man and his highest ideals but doubt and fear." Tone sweeps doubt aside. Tone is faith made audible. Let us deepen the practice. I will give you decrees. You repeat with strength and clarity. Between each pause, let the vibrations settle. Leader, money obeys my voice. You, money obeys my voice. Leader, I command streams of income to appear. You, I command streams of income to appear. Leader, I decree checks, gifts, and opportunities now. You, I decree checks, gifts, and opportunities now. Leader, wealth flows through me, blesses me, and blesses others. You, wealth flows through me, blesses me, and blesses others. Notice as you speak, you are not only programming water, you are programming your very cells, your nervous system, your expectation. Every decree multiplies belief, and belief is the magnet that draws supply. Let me share a story. A woman once came to me overwhelmed with bills. She felt trapped in lack. I instructed her, take a glass of water each morning, decree your specific prosperity, then drink it in faith. She felt silly at first, but she obeyed. Each morning, her voice grew stronger. Each morning, her tone more assured. Within 3 weeks, unexpected checks appeared. A client she had lost returned with a large contract. What shifted not her outer world first, but her inner authority. She planted wealth in water and reaped a harvest. Remember this: you do not wait for evidence to decree. You decree, and evidence obeys. Choose your water consciously. Morning is best. The day is fresh, your mind unburdened. Hold the glass with reverence. Your hands are transmitters. Speak clearly, specifically, and firmly. Name amounts, name dates, name qualities. Leave silence after each decree. Water absorbs vibration in stillness. Drink with faith. As the water enters, you imagine money flowing through your veins. Here is a template you may use daily. Adapt it to your desires. I decree specific amount now arrives to me easily and joyfully before specific date. I decree prosperity surrounds me, fills me, and expresses through me. I decree my wealth blesses all it touches. Pause. Speak these into your water, drink them in, feel them root. As you repeat this practice, notice something profound. It is not only money that begins to move, it is you. You shift from a beggar's voice to a sovereign voice, from whispering wishes to commanding reality. This is the true gift of the spoken decree. It awakens the authority of your own soul. The glass of water is only the mirror. What it reflects is your certainty. The decree is not magic words, it is alignment. It is faith given sound. So, beloved, each day when you face your water, remember this is not an empty ritual. This is law in motion. What you speak into water, you plant into the stream of your life. Wealth obeys a voice that knows itself. Take your glass, now lift it gently and declare, this water carries my prosperity. I drink wealth, I drink joy, I drink divine supply. Drink. Feel the current move through you. You have planted wealth in water, and the harvest has already begun. Take a breath. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its steady rhythm. That rhythm is life itself, and in a moment, you will give it a new song. For the decree you planted in water is not complete until it is received. Speaking prosperity is planting. Drinking prosperity is harvesting. Water is not only sound, it is sensation. It is the bridge from mind to body, from word to cell. When you drink the water, you have spoken over. You are no longer merely affirming, you are embodying. You are saying, I receive, I allow, I am the vessel. Think of how ordinary drinking has always seemed. A sip at breakfast, a glass at lunch, a bottle carried to the gym. But pause now and see it anew. Water does not simply quench thirst, it carries memory vibration decree. When you lift the glass, you have spoken into, you are lifting a chalice of wealth. This is no different from communion. Bread and wine in sacred tradition carry meaning far beyond themselves. In this ritual, water becomes prosperity. Each swallow is an agreement with abundance. As the water touches your lips, imagine joy entering. As it slides down your throat, imagine ease flowing. As it reaches your belly, imagine your cells leaping like children at play. The decree you planted has become liquid light. Your body celebrates. Your very bloodstream whispers, prosperity lives here. Close your eyes, take a sip, and inwardly speak. Every cell in my body now vibrates with wealth. My being is saturated with prosperity. Can you feel it? That subtle glow, that slight expansion in your chest, that is somatic integration. Not just thinking prosperity, not just speaking prosperity, but drinking prosperity into your very form. Notice how the act of drinking shifts your emotions. First, there is reverence, you hold the glass as holy. Then joy, you taste prosperity. Then certainty, you feel it flowing through you. Layer by layer, emotion seals the decree. Doubt dissolves in sensation. Fear evaporates in taste. This is why this ritual works so deeply. You cannot argue with what your body feels. When you taste prosperity, when you swallow it, when you imagine it entering your veins, you bypass the doubting mind and go straight to knowing. Let us walk it together. Hold your water. Take a slow breath. Speak quietly yet firmly. This water is wealth. This water is joy. This water is my decree made flesh. Now sip. Slowly close your eyes. Feel it enter. Imagine your cells shimmering like golden coins dropped into a fountain. Imagine your bloodstream sparkling with light. Imagine every part of you saying, yes, yes, yes. Take another sip. Smile as you swallow. Whisper inwardly, I receive. Science tells us our bodies are more than 70% water. That means each decree you drink becomes part of you. Your cells listen. Your cells rejoice. Picture them as dancers in a great ballroom twirling as prosperity's music plays. Each sip is a new note, a new melody. You are not just drinking, you are composing a symphony of abundance within. Florence Scovel Shinn said, your word is your wand. When you drink, your wand becomes your blood, your breath, your bones. The decree is no longer outside you, it has become you. After drinking, pause. Place your hands on your belly. Whisper, I am full. I overflow. Prosperity is me. Notice the subtle difference between wanting and having. Before drinking, you desired. After drinking, you embody. The line is crossed. You no longer chase abundance, you carry it. You no longer call prosperity from afar, you taste it within. This shift from I want to, I am is the most important movement of the ritual. It is the bridge from separation to union. So let this become your daily sacrament. Each morning, speak your decree into water, then drink it with reverence. Do not rush. Do not gulp. Let each sip be a prayer, each swallow a seal. Feel your body glow. Feel your emotions lift. Feel your certainty settle. You have not just spoken prosperity. You have not just imagined prosperity. You have embodied prosperity. And when mind, body, and spirit agree, manifestation is inevitable. Drink, beloved, and know prosperity lives in you, flows through you, and expresses as you. There comes a moment on the prosperity path when we must not only call abundance in, but also release the invisible chains that have kept us bound. For many, lack is not simply a present condition, it is an inherited agreement, a silent contract passed from generation to generation. Money is hard, wealth is not for us, prosperity belongs to others. These are not truths. They are signatures written on paper that was never yours to sign. And today, we dissolve them. Think back. How did your family speak of money? Perhaps you heard, we can't afford it, or money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy. Those words carried the weight of authority, and like water taking the shape of its container, you absorbed them. Without realizing, you agreed. But listen closely, an agreement made in ignorance can be canceled in wisdom. Just as a contract signed under pressure has no power in true law, so too, the contracts of lack hold no eternal claim on you. Imagine before you a sheet of paper. Written upon it are every scarcity belief you ever absorbed. I'm not worthy. I don't deserve wealth. If I prosper, I'll be judged. There's never enough. These sentences cover the page. They are the ink of lack. Now imagine placing that sheet in a bowl of water. You watch the ink blur, dissolve, and disappear. The words that once seemed permanent melt into nothingness. The contract of lack is canceled. The water swallows the lie. This is the ritual to speak your cancellation aloud, to declare your freedom to watch lack lose its shape. Place your hands over your water. Speak with authority. I cancel every agreement with lack. I dissolve every belief in unworthiness. I release guilt, shame, and fear about money. I now choose flow, ease, and divine abundance. As you speak, feel the weight lift. These were not your contracts to keep. You were born for flow. You were born for prosperity. Let me share a story. A man I once guided carried generations of poverty consciousness. His parents survived war. His grandparents survived famine. To them, survival was wealth. When he began to prosper, he felt guilty, as though he were betraying their struggle. He would sabotage his success to stay loyal to their lack. One day, I asked him to write every scarcity belief he carried onto paper, then place it in a bowl of water. As the ink dissolved, he repeated, I cancel lack. I choose flow. Tears streamed down his face. He said he felt as though his ancestors were finally freed. Within months, he built a thriving business, but more importantly, he lived without guilt. Remember, when you cancel lack, you do not dishonor your lineage. You liberate it. You end the cycle for all who came before and all who come after. Notice what arises in you as you practice this. Guilt may surface, shame may whisper, doubt may argue. These are the voices of the old contract fighting for survival. Smile at them. Say you are canceled. You hold no claim on me. Then breathe. Let the water carry them away. Imagine every cell rinsed clean, as though a tide has washed through you. The old signatures are gone. The page is blank. Once you cancel lack, you must choose flow. Nature abhors a vacuum. You cannot leave the page empty. You must write a new decree. So speak, I choose prosperity as my birthright. I choose wealth with ease and joy. I choose to bless and be blessed. I choose flow. Feel how different these words are. Feel how they settle in your body like truth long awaited. This is your new covenant. This is your living contract with abundance. Understand this: every time you cancel lack, you do not only free yourself, you ripple freedom outward. Your children, your community, your lineage feel the shift. Just as trauma is inherited, so is healing. By breaking the chain, you become a point of liberation. If your spirit is stirred, if you are ready to sever every false contract of scarcity, declare it now. Write it in the comments, write it in your journal, shout it into the wind. I cancel lack, I choose flow. Let the world know you are free. Hold your glass of water. Whisper one last decree. This water carries only prosperity. Lack is erased. Flow remains. Drink slowly. As the water enters, you imagine every cell celebrating contracts, burned chains, broken freedom flowing. Smile. Exhale. You are free. Picture a crystal clear glass of water before you. You can see straight through it, light glimmering in its depths. This is your stream of prosperity, pure, clean, unhindered. Now imagine a single drop of dark ink falling into that glass. Instantly, the water clouds. One drop changes the whole. This is what doubt does. Faith speaks the decree. Fear adds the ink. And just as you would not drink water muddied by ink, your prosperity cannot flow through water muddied by doubt. Doubt whispers, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm not worthy? What if it never comes? These whispers are small but potent. They color the stream. They muddy clarity. Faith, however, is sunlight. It shines through the water, restoring its brilliance. It evaporates fear like mist. Faith is not straining to believe, it is relaxing into certainty. It is knowing that the decree you planted the water, you drank the abundance you embodied, is already unfolding. You must protect your stream as fiercely as you would guard a newborn child. You do not allow doubt to sit at your table. You do not allow fear to pour ink into your water. You choose your words, your tone, your thoughts with care. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly." Protecting your stream means acting as though the prosperity is already yours, because in truth, it is. Hold your water now. Look into its clarity. Whisper, "My faith keeps this stream pure." Doubt dissolves in the light of truth. I trust the law of my decree. Take a sip. As you swallow, imagine light filling you. See the stream within your body remain clear, untainted. Feel the certainty settle in your chest like a warm sun. Think of prosperity as a garden. You plant the seed with your decree. You water it with gratitude. You protect it with faith. If you walk into the garden every morning, digging up the soil to see if the seed is growing, you kill it. That is what doubt does, it uproots. But faith allows the process to unfold unseen, knowing the bloom will appear. I recall a woman who practiced this ritual daily. She decreed she drank, but still her mind battled with fear. She would cancel her own words with worry. What if the money doesn't come? One day, she decided to stop checking the outer world for evidence. Instead, she said aloud, "My decree is law. My water carries certainty. I refuse to add ink to my stream." Within a week, an unexpected opportunity appeared. She laughed, realizing the money had been trying to reach her all along. Her fear was the only barrier. When she trusted, the stream flowed unhindered. To protect your stream, you must practice detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference, it means release. It means you have spoken, you have planted, you have drunk the decree, and now you trust the process. Just as a farmer does not scream at the soil to hurry, you do not harass your decree with impatience, you live in certainty. Say aloud, "Now I release how and when. I trust the stream to deliver. My decree is safe, my prosperity is sure." Remember, if doubt does enter, do not panic. A single drop of ink can cloud the water, but it can also be diluted, cleansed, replaced. Each time you speak faith, each time you return to trust, you purify the stream again. Fear never has the final word. Faith always restores. So protect your stream. Guard your clarity. When worry rises, smile and say, "I see you," but you hold no power. When fear knocks, answer with faith lives here. The stream is pure. You are not fighting fear. You are outshining it. And just as the sun outshines shadow, your faith washes fear away without effort. Lift your water one last time. Whisper, "This stream is clear. My faith is strong. Prosperity flows unhindered. Drink." Feel the clarity fill you. Feel the stream inside remain untouchable, protected by trust. Smile, for you have kept your waters pure. And in purity, prosperity flows freely. Listen to the rhythm of your own heart. Lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub. It never skips its beat. It never says, "Not today." It simply continues. And in its constancy, life flows. Prosperity is no different. It answers rhythm. It answers consistency. To treat your decree and your water ritual as a daily sacred appointment is to bring yourself into harmony with the pulse of abundance. One decree may plant a seed, one glass may carry intention, but rhythm is what grows the garden. Repetition builds momentum. Momentum builds certainty. Certainty manifests results. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Man's word is his wand filled with magic and power, but a wand unused gathers dust. A decree left occasional remains weak. Consistency sharpens the wand. Consistency strengthens the voice. Every morning the sun rises. Every evening it sets. This rhythm governs all life. When you align with rhythm, when you decree and drink daily, you harmonize with creation itself. Think of a drum beat. The first strike calls attention. The second confirms. The third sets rhythm. Soon the whole room is moving to the beat. That is your daily decree. The first day feels new, the second familiar, the third established. By the 7th, your body expects it. By the 30th, your spirit dances to it. Each day you speak into water, you are striking the drum of prosperity. Each sip is a beat of wealth. The rhythm becomes irresistible. The universe begins to sway to your song. Call it an appointment, sacred, non-negotiable. Not when I have time, not if I remember, but a set meeting between you and your supply. Just as you would never miss a meeting with your dearest friend, you do not miss this. Set a time. Morning before the noise of the world begins is best. Approach with reverence. Light a candle if you wish. Place your water before you. Speak your decree. Drink slowly. Smile. Give thanks. Let it be the anchor of your day. A man once began this ritual reluctantly. He said, "I've tried everything. Nothing works." I asked him to commit for 30 days without fail. At first he resisted. He wanted quick results, but he obeyed. Day after day he decreed. Day after day he drank. Something shifted, not outside first, but within. By the 3rd week, he noticed his tone had changed, stronger, more confident. By the 4th, unexpected income appeared, a bonus, a refund, a new client. He said, "It feels like money trusts me now because I kept showing up." Consistency told the universe he was serious, and the universe responded in kind. Belief is not built in a day. Belief is a drumbeat. Belief is rhythm. Every time you repeat the ritual, you engrave certainty deeper into your being. You do not brush your teeth once and say, "That's enough for life." You do not eat one meal and expect to be nourished forever. These daily actions sustain you. So too does the water ritual. It nourishes your faith, feeds your imagination, strengthens your decree. Say aloud now, "I keep my sacred appointment." My rhythm builds my prosperity. I show up daily and money shows up daily. Momentum is powerful. Imagine pushing a great wheel. At first the effort is heavy. One push barely moves it. The second, a little more. By the 10th, the wheel begins to turn on its own. That is what consistency does. At first, you may feel little, but as the days pass, the energy compounds. Prosperity begins to roll toward you with its own momentum. Do not despise small beginnings. The wheel always starts with one push. To strengthen rhythm, create a sacred space. A small table, a candle, a cloth, a journal. Place your water there each morning. Let it be the altar of prosperity. When you sit before it, your body remembers, "This is where I call, this is where I receive." Consistency is easier when anchored in place. Just as a church bell rings in the same tower each day, let your ritual resound from the same space. Speak now with me. My rhythm calls prosperity daily. I keep my appointment with abundance. As I show up, supply shows up. There was a woman who began her ritual in a cramped apartment struggling with debt. She felt silly at first holding her glass, speaking her decree. But she was faithful. Each morning she showed up. Months passed, the debts dissolved, a promotion came. She moved into a larger home. She told me it wasn't just the money, it was the rhythm. Every morning I felt like I was already wealthy, and soon the world caught up. Consistency turned her faith into a force. Her rhythm became her reality. So I ask you, will you treat this as optional or as sacred? Will you let your practice scatter, or will you anchor it in rhythm? Remember, the universe responds not to half-hearted wishes, but to steady decree. Money listens to consistency. Prosperity answers rhythm. Take your water now. Whisper, "This is my daily song. This is my sacred rhythm. Prosperity flows because I flow." Drink. Feel the beat of your heart align with the beat of abundance. Lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub. Rhythm, faith, flow. Smile, for you have kept your appointment. And every day you keep it, your stream grows stronger, your prosperity surer. At the end of every ritual, there must be a seal. Just as a letter is closed with wax to ensure its safe delivery, so must your decree be sealed. And the seal is gratitude. Gratitude is the spiritual glue that holds your prosperity in place. Without it, the decree may drift like an open envelope. With it, your intention is locked, blessed, and guaranteed to arrive. Gratitude is not merely polite. It is not the thank you taught as manners. Gratitude is spiritual recognition. It is the soul's way of saying, "It is already done." When you give thanks for money before it appears, you move beyond hope into certainty. You are no longer wishing, you are receiving. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Gratitude is law in action." For every word of thanks multiplies what you have and accelerates what is on its way. Gratitude stamps your decree with divine approval. Picture an ancient letter. The message is written, the envelope is folded, but it is not secure until the sender drips hot wax and presses a seal. Only then can the letter travel safely. Your decree is the letter. Gratitude is the wax. Your faith is the seal. Without it, the letter risks being lost. With it, the message is undeniable. So every ritual must end, not with asking, not with waiting, but with gratitude spoken aloud. Take your water now. Place your hand upon it. Speak with reverence. Thank you, infinite supply, for hearing my decree. Thank you for the money that flows now. Thank you for the wealth already on its way. Thank you for overflow, joy, and ease. As you speak, notice how your heart softens. Gratitude opens the inner door. It allows joy to flood the body. It removes strain and replaces it with peace. This is the power of the seal. Let me tell you about a woman named Alana. She practiced the water ritual daily, but she struggled with impatience. She decreed she drank, but afterward she would sigh. When will it come? Her stream was muddied with doubt. One day I told her, end every ritual with gratitude. Do not sigh. Do not question. Simply give thanks as if the money has already arrived. She resisted. At first it felt like pretending, but she tried. The next morning she spoke thank you for the $5,000 that is already mine. For the first time she smiled after her ritual instead of frowning. That week, 2 unexpected payments arrived, a refund and a bonus. Alana laughed through tears. She said the only difference was gratitude. Gratitude made it real. This is the seal. It is the energy that locks the decree into manifestation. Notice the emotions gratitude stirs: relief, joy, warmth, certainty. These emotions coat your decree like wax, protecting it from fear. Doubt cannot enter a heart already singing thanks. Worry cannot survive in a body already glowing with appreciation. So linger here. Do not rush gratitude. Let it swell, rise, overflow. Let your whole being hum with thanks. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Place both hands over your heart. Whisper, "Thank you for money in my hands now. Thank you for debts dissolved, bills paid, and overflow remaining. Thank you for the joy of giving and the joy of receiving. Thank you for prosperity, blessing me and blessing others through me." Feel the shift. Gratitude is not weak, it is mighty. It is the vibration of completion. It says, "The harvest is mine." To deepen the seal, keep a gratitude journal beside your water. After each ritual, write 3 things you are thankful for, some already present, some on their way. This practice weaves gratitude into both imagination and reality. For example, thank you for the $10,000 arriving by September 30th. Thank you for the opportunities flowing today. Thank you for the roof above my head, the meal before me, the breath within me. This balance of current gratitude and future gratitude seals the ritual in harmony. When groups practice gratitude together, its power magnifies. Imagine thousands saying, "Thank you for prosperity now." The energy becomes a chorus. It rises like incense, a wave of blessing that covers all. So know this: when you seal your ritual with gratitude, you are not alone. Countless others are sealing with you. Your thanks joins theirs. Together, we weave a world of abundance. Speak aloud now with me. Thank you for hearing. Thank you for answering. Thank you for overflow. My decree is sealed in joy. My prosperity is sure. Drink your water slowly. Smile as you swallow. Feel gratitude coat every cell. The wax has been poured. The seal is pressed. The decree is safe. There was a man who ended every ritual with a single phrase, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." He repeated it until tears welled in his eyes. He told me gratitude is the sweetest part of the practice. It makes me feel rich before a penny arrives. Within a year, his income doubled. But more than money, he radiated peace. He said gratitude gave me wealth on the inside first, and then the outside matched. Beloved, remember, every ritual must end with thanks. Not mechanical thanks, not forced thanks, but genuine, swelling, heart-born thanks. Gratitude seals. Gratitude protects. Gratitude multiplies. So let us end together. Take your water, lift it high, and declare, "Thank you for abundance in my life now. Thank you for prosperity unfolding daily. Thank you for the joy of wealth." This decree is sealed, and so it is. Drink, smile, exhale, linger. The seal is set. Beloved soul, pause now and take a breath. A long, gentle breath, as though inhaling the fragrance of eternity itself. For we stand at the threshold of transformation, not a ritual, not a practice, not even a discipline, but a becoming. This is where prosperity ceases to be something you reach for and becomes the very garment you wear, the very rhythm of your heartbeat, the very essence of who you are. In the earlier steps, you learned to work with water as symbol, as mirror, as ritual. You poured, you blessed, you spoke, you drank. You called abundance forth with conscious words, and you treated water as a sacred ally. But now the veil grows thinner, and the distinction between you and the water begins to dissolve. Just as a river does not struggle to reach the ocean, it simply flows until it merges you. Two are flowing into the vast ocean of divine prosperity. Imagine now with me that every cell of your body glows with liquid light. See them, tiny orbs shimmering like droplets on sunlit morning grass. Each cell is a chalice, and within it overflows the radiance of infinite supply. You no longer invoke prosperity, you are prosperity embodied. You no longer seek wealth, you are wealth in living form. You no longer practice abundance, you are the fountain from which abundance pours. Let this affirmation circle through your mind. I am the living stream. I am the river of good without end. I am prosperity made flesh, made breath, made presence. Say it softly, as though whispering to the marrow of your bones, again and again, until the words no longer sound like words, but rather like the deep hum of your being. Do you see, beloved, how identity shifts? Once you may have thought of abundance as a goal, something to reach, something outside yourself. But now, just as water takes the shape of its vessel, your consciousness has taken the shape of wealth itself. You are no longer a seeker, you are a bringer. You are no longer a beggar, you are a fountain. You are no longer in lack, you are in overflow. Pause for a moment and picture a river. It does not fret about how it will reach the sea. It trusts its own nature. It allows the pull of gravity, the shaping of the earth, the warmth of the sun. In time, it merges seamlessly with the great ocean. And when it does, the river is not lost. It becomes more. It becomes endless. So too with you. You are no longer practicing prosperity. You are merging with it, becoming one with it, and therefore becoming infinite in your expression of it. Let us deepen this visualization. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a radiant sea. Its waters are golden, shimmering with divine supply. You step forward and the water rises to meet you. First your feet, then your legs, then your waist, then your chest. Soon you are immersed entirely, yet you are not drowning. No, this is your element. This is the home you had always forgotten you belonged to. The golden water flows into you, through you, as you until there is no separation at all. Now the most extraordinary thing occurs. You realize that the sea you stand in is not surrounding you, it is emanating from you. The ocean is you. The waves are you. The shimmering light is you. And so we affirm again, I am the sea of infinite supply. I am the wave and the water. I am the endless overflow of divine abundance. As you breathe, let this truth engrave itself upon your soul. You no longer need to remind yourself to act prosperous. You simply are. Just as a flame does not struggle to burn, and the sun does not struggle to shine, you do not struggle to prosper. You are the living radiance of prosperity itself. Beloved, this is the holy secret. Rituals and practices are stepping stones. They are beautiful, sacred, necessary, but they are not the destination. They are reminders until you need no reminding. They are guides until you realize you are the guide. They are the vessel until you become the water itself. And now, in this moment, you shift from doing to being, from practicing to embodying, from calling abundance forth to realizing abundance was always what you are. Allow this cycle of affirmations to seal your new identity. I no longer chase abundance, I embody it. I no longer ask for prosperity, I am prosperity itself. I no longer wait for overflow. I am overflow in this very breath. I am the current of wealth. I am the glow of health. I am the river of love. I am the wellspring of creativity. Let the words echo until they become music. Let the music echo until it becomes silence. And in the silence, realize there is no distance between you and the abundance you once longed for. The two are one. They always were. Take one last gentle breath here, beloved, and release all need to strive. For when water becomes you, you have already arrived. Beloved one, now that you have merged with prosperity as your very identity, it is time to feel its movement. For abundance, like water, was never meant to sit still. A stagnant pool grows cloudy, lifeless, heavy, but a flowing river sparkles, nourishes, and carries life wherever it travels. Wealth is the same. It must move, it must circulate, it must be allowed to flow through your hands, your heart, your life, so that it may return multiplied. The error so many make is this: they clutch, they hoard. They fear that if they release what they have, it will be gone forever. But tell me, beloved, when you exhale, do you panic that no more breath will come? No, you trust the rhythm of life. You release, and in that releasing, you receive again. So it is with money, with generosity, with the circulation of all good things. Imagine for a moment a pond hidden in the woods. No streams feed it, no outlets release it. It is cut off, contained, sealed tight. Over time, what happens? The water becomes stale, algae spreads, the surface grows scum. It may even begin to stink. Now imagine by contrast a clear mountain river. It dances, it sings, it tumbles over rocks, it waters valleys, it feeds forests. It never worries, what if I give too much? It knows its source is endless. Its joy is in movement. So too is your wealth. Money is not meant to be trapped, clutched, or buried in fear. It is meant to circulate, to bless, to multiply. When you give, you set wealth in motion. When you spend with joy, you water the garden of life. When you release, you invite return. Let us anchor this in a story. A woman, perhaps not unlike you, once lived in fear of her finances. Every coin was counted, every bill brought anxiety. She clenched tightly, thinking saving every drop would keep her safe. Yet her pond grew smaller, her life dimmer. One day, she heard a whisper within, release and you will receive. Hesitant, she gave a small gift to someone in need. A stranger smiled. Blessings were exchanged, and she felt something stir within. She began to give regularly, not out of duty, not out of guilt, but out of joy. And what happened? The very money she feared losing began to return, multiplied from sources she never could have planned. Opportunities arose, gifts were given back, unexpected checks appeared. She had unlocked the river. This, beloved, is the law. Circulation creates increase. What you hoard shrinks. What you release returns. Affirm with me now. I give freely, I receive joyfully, and my wealth circulates endlessly. Again, I give with love, I receive with ease, and the flow of prosperity never ends. Feel the rhythm in your breath. Inhale, receive. Exhale, give. Inhale, receive. Exhale, give. This is the natural current of abundance. Consider now the joy of spending. Too often, we approach money with dread, fearing the bill, resenting the payment, shrinking as though money is being taken from us. But what if you blessed every transaction as a sacred exchange? What if each time you spent, you declared, as I release, I increase. As I give, I grow. Imagine paying your rent or mortgage with a smile, saying, I bless this roof and the flow that provides it. Imagine buying food and whispering, I bless this nourishment and the flow that sustains it. Imagine giving a tip to a waiter, a donation to a cause, a gift to a friend, and knowing you are not losing but planting seeds in the endless field of prosperity. Beloved, giving is not sacrifice. Giving is sowing, and the field of spirit always returns the harvest multiplied. Now let us step into a visualization together. Picture yourself holding a golden vessel filled with radiant water. This water represents your wealth, your resources, your good. Before you, others stand with empty cups, friends, strangers, even unknown faces. With joy, you tilt your vessel and pour. You see their cups fill their faces, brighten their lives, uplifted. And as you pour, something wondrous occurs. Your own vessel does not empty. In fact, it overflows more and more, as though the act of giving opens a hidden spring within you. This is the truth: you cannot outgive the infinite. The more you circulate, the more you allow the universe to refill you again and again. Affirm with me once more: I am a joyful giver, and I am an abundant receiver. Money flows to me and through me in endless circulation. As I give, I receive. As I receive, I give. I am the river of prosperity. Pause, beloved, and feel it. Truly feel the river flowing in you. The tightness of fear is gone. The stagnancy of hoarding has lifted. There is only movement, only freedom, only joy. You are not afraid to spend, for every dollar is a seed. You are not afraid to give, for every gift returns. You are not afraid to receive, for you know it is the natural inhale of life itself. And so you are free. Free to bless, free to circulate, free to dance in the flow of wealth. Beloved soul, you have walked the path from practice to identity, from stagnant holding to radiant circulation. And now, as the river of prosperity flows freely within you, something extraordinary begins to happen. The flow does not merely sustain, it multiplies. Opportunities increase. Synchronicities sparkle in your days. What once felt slow now begins to quicken, expand, amplify. This is the amplification phase, when the seeds you planted with faith burst into bloom, when the river gathers speed, when the current carries you further than you imagined. For once resistance is cleared, flow does not simply return to balance, it accelerates. Prosperity begins to gather around you like a magnifying glass, focusing sunlight, intensifying every blessing, every possibility, every demonstration of abundance. Imagine for a moment standing in a meadow on a bright afternoon. The sun is warm, generous, steady. You hold in your hand a simple magnifying glass. When you angle it just so the rays of the sun concentrate into a single point of light, so powerful it can ignite fire. The sun did not grow stronger. It was always infinite. But focus amplified its expression. So it is with you, beloved. The divine flow was always present, infinite and endless. But as you aligned your thoughts, your words, your giving, your being, you focused. And now the fire of abundance ignites. You may begin to notice unusual alignments in your life. Perhaps a chance meeting brings exactly the contact you needed. Perhaps an idea flashes in your mind, opening a door to profit, creativity, or joy. Perhaps money arrives unexpectedly from a refund, a gift, an opportunity you never foresaw. These are not accidents. They are the natural amplification of flow. You have become magnetic. You have become aligned. You have become the focused flame of prosperity itself. Let us seal this truth in story. A man once struggled endlessly to make ends meet. He worked, he pushed, he worried. His efforts were constant, yet the results were small. When he began to shift his words, speaking only of abundance, blessing each bill, giving with joy, something curious began. First, a small refund appeared in his account. Then a client who had long forgotten him reached out with a large order. Then a new friend introduced him to an opportunity beyond his imagining. One door opened another, and suddenly, the life he once strained for was unfolding with ease. What changed? Not the world, not luck. His focus shifted. He aligned with the river. The river amplified. And so, beloved, we affirm every seed I plant multiplies. Every gift I give returns increased. Every step I take is amplified in divine overflow. Say it softly, then louder. Then as though the whole universe leans close to hear you. This is the law, what you set in motion with faith grows stronger. Like a ripple spreading on water, each act of giving, each word of truth, each affirmation spoken expands beyond your sight, touching shores you cannot see. And then, like the returning tide, it comes back multiplied. Now let us enter a deep visualization together. Close your inner eyes and imagine yourself standing at the edge of a wide river. Its waters shimmer with golden light. You step in. The current is gentle at first, cradling you. Then as you surrender, the current grows stronger, not frightening, but exhilarating. It carries you forward swiftly, joyfully, as though lifting you into a dance. Around you, the scenery begins to shift. Fields of possibility, open doors of opportunity, line the shore faces of new allies wave from the banks. The river carries you effortlessly into more, into greater, into amplified good. Breathe into this vision. Let your heart feel the excitement of acceleration. Let your body relax into the knowing that you need not control this river, you only need to flow with it. And now, let us affirm in rhythm. My blessings multiply daily. Synchronicity surrounds me. I am carried by the amplified current of divine abundance. I expect increase. I welcome increase. I live in increase. Pause, beloved, and let those words settle like golden dust upon your spirit. This is no longer effort. This is alignment. You are not forcing wealth. You are allowing wealth. You are not demanding prosperity. You are magnetizing prosperity. You are not wishing. You are witnessing. Consider this. Amplification is not only about money. It is about energy, joy, connection. When you smile, others smile back multiplied. When you encourage, encouragement circles back to you stronger. When you bless, blessing circles the globe to find its way home. You have become an amplifier of life itself. And so the universe sings with you. Every prayer you release, every kindness you give, every affirmation you declare, it is not lost. It magnifies, it multiplies, it returns with power. I am the magnifying glass of prosperity. I focus the infinite into form. My blessings expand, my wealth multiplies, my life amplifies in every direction. I live in overflow. I am overflow. I am the amplified current of divine abundance, and so it is. Beloved one, now that you feel the amplification of prosperity moving through your life, let us step into a broader horizon. For true abundance is never confined to money alone. Wealth is but one expression of the infinite's generosity. Prosperity is holistic. It touches your health, your relationships, your creativity, your peace, your joy. It ripples outward into every area of your life, just as a single stone dropped into a still pond sends circles upon circles across the water's surface. Imagine this with me. You stand at the edge of a great mirrored lake. You drop one shining pebble into its center. A ring forms. Then another. Then another. The circles expand outward, endlessly touching every shore. Such is the nature of abundance. One act of alignment, one affirmation spoken, one gesture of giving, these do not remain small. They ripple into your body, your family, your community, your future. You see, money is a doorway. When you learn to flow with it, you realize the law of circulation applies to all. Health too must circulate. Love must circulate. Creativity must circulate. The moment you cling too tightly, the pond grows stagnant. The moment you release flow, returns. Let us speak first of health. Many imagine health as a battle to be fought, a prize to be won. But health, like wealth, is flow. It is the circulation of life force through your cells, the free movement of energy through your body. Picture now your bloodstream glowing with liquid light, flowing freely, joyfully, carrying nourishment to every cell. Each inhale brings renewal. Each exhale releases what is no longer needed. Affirm, now my health flows like a river. Life force circulates through me freely. Every cell is nourished in divine abundance. Feel it. Not forced, not strained, simply flowing. Just as money comes to you in overflow, so too does vitality. You do not chase health, you embody it. Now consider relationships. How often do we try to control love, clutch at affection, fear its loss? But love is not a stone to be grasped. It is water. It must be given, it must be received, it must flow. When you release words of kindness, gestures of care, forgiveness, and compassion, the ripples extend. And just as sure as the tide love returns to you magnified. Say with me, I give love freely, I receive love joyfully, and the river of relationship blesses me endlessly. Pause. Think of a person in your life who once felt distant. Imagine now a ripple of blessing moving from your heart to theirs, softening, healing, reconnecting. That ripple may travel invisibly, but it reaches them. And in time, it circles back to you, bringing reconciliation, harmony, and joy. Next, let us touch upon creativity. Have you noticed, beloved, that when abundance flows, your imagination quickens? Ideas arrive, inspiration sparks your hands, itch to create your voice, longs to sing your heart, yearns to bring something new into form. Creativity, too, is a river. It cannot be forced, nor can it be contained. It moves best when you trust it, when you allow it, when you stop damming it with self-doubt or perfectionism. Imagine now a river of light flowing through your mind, carrying ideas like fish swimming joyfully downstream. You reach in, and there is always another, always more. Affirm, I am the open channel of divine creativity. Ideas flow to me, through me, and as me without end. And so you begin to see abundance is not a single stream. It is an ocean touching every shore of your being. Wealth, health, love, creativity, all ripples of the same source. Let us anchor this in a story. A woman once began to practice prosperity affirmations. At first, she focused only on money, for that was where she felt most lack. But soon, something surprising unfolded. Her income did increase, but so did her energy. She found herself waking refreshed, glowing with vitality. Her friendships grew deeper laughter, more frequent her home, warmer with love. Even her long-lost passion for painting returned, and as she painted, new opportunities for joy and income arose. She realized the truth: when one river flows, all rivers flow. Abundance is never partial. It is whole. So too for you, beloved. As you align with prosperity, expect the ripple effects. Expect your body to glow, your relationships to heal, your creativity to bloom, your peace to deepen. Affirm now in a cycle, I live in holistic abundance. My wealth, my health, my love, my creativity overflow. The ripples of my prosperity bless all areas of my life. I am the living lake of infinite good. Breathe. Let the ripples extend outward. See them traveling beyond even your own life, touching your family, your community, the world. For your overflow is not only for you. It blesses all it touches. And so, beloved, you are no longer simply prosperous in money. You are abundant in being. You are the pond rippling endlessly. You are the river that feeds all. You are the ocean in which all blessings are found, and the ripples never cease. Beloved, one abundance is not only found in the moments of ritual, in the quiet times when you pour water with intention, or in the spoken affirmations that echo through your spirit. True overflow reveals itself in the everyday, in the ordinary moments that become extraordinary when you approach them with reverence. For life itself is a ceremony, and when you live with the awareness of flow, every act becomes sacred. Consider the glass of water at your bedside. Most would drink it without thought. But you have been awakened to the truth. As you lift that glass, you remember every sip is sacred. With each swallow, you know you are drinking the river of life, the essence of prosperity, the infinite made tangible. No act is small when performed in the awareness of divine flow. Say softly with me, every sip is sacred, every breath is sacred, every moment is holy. Let the words echo through you, weaving ceremony into the fabric of your daily life. For what is ritual, beloved, but concentrated awareness? A candle lit, a prayer, spoken water blessed, all these are reminders. But what if the reminder became the constant state? What if brushing your teeth, tying your shoes, paying your bills, cooking your meals? What if all became sacred ceremony? Then you would never step outside of abundance. You would live it as your identity, not as something you must pause to remember, but as something you cannot forget. Pause now and imagine your day as a temple. The morning light enters your room like stained glass in a cathedral painting, color across your face. The sound of boiling water for your tea becomes a hymn. The laughter of a child becomes a choir. The simple act of eating becomes communion with the infinite. And in this temple, you are the priest, the celebrant, the one who blesses and consecrates. Let us anchor this with affirmations. I live each day as sacred ceremony. Every act I perform carries the vibration of abundance. Every breath I take is a blessing received. Every breath I release is a blessing given. Now, beloved, let us imagine together the ceremony of payment. Once perhaps bills brought fear. Once money leaving your hand felt like loss. But now, every transaction is an altar. Each bill is a symbol of provision, of flow of connection. Each dollar cent is a seed sown in the garden of circulation. Imagine holding a bill in your hand and whispering, "This too is sacred. This too is flow." Imagine tapping your card at a store and smiling as I release, I increase. Can you feel how the ordinary becomes holy? Next, let us bring reverence into the body. When you walk, bless your feet. These feet carry me into abundance. When you breathe, bless your lungs. This breath is life, eternal, flowing through me. When you look in the mirror, bless your reflection. I am the vessel of divine prosperity. In this way, every glance, every movement, every gesture becomes part of the great ceremony of living abundance. And beloved, ceremony does not need to be solemn. Ceremony can be laughter. Ceremony can be dancing in your kitchen, stirring your soup with joy, singing as you wash your clothes. Ceremony can be play. For joy itself is a sacred vibration, one of the highest frequencies of abundance. Imagine for a moment that the entire earth is engaged in this sacred ceremony. Millions lift cups of water, millions inhale, breath millions, laugh millions, work millions, rest, and each act is holy. The world becomes a temple, and prosperity is not a thing to chase, but the atmosphere in which all live and move and have their being. This is what it means to embody the sacred ceremony of everyday life. You do not step in and out of flow, you live in it. You do not light candles only on special days. You realize the sun itself is the eternal candle rising each morning to remind you of light and warmth. You do not wait for blessings. You see them in the bread. You eat the bed. You lie upon the air. You breathe the faces you love. And so we affirm together, every sip is sacred. Every step is sacred. Every task is sacred. I live in the holy flow of everyday abundance. Repeat it slowly. Let it sink into the rhythm of your heartbeat. For soon you will not need to remind yourself. It will simply be who you are. Beloved, this is the culmination when the ritual becomes identity and identity becomes lifestyle. You are no longer practicing prosperity, you are living it. You are no longer calling abundance, you are embodying it. You are no longer performing ceremony. You are ceremony itself. Take a moment to close your eyes. Picture your day tomorrow. Imagine rising in the morning and blessing the light that greets you. Imagine washing your hands and blessing the water that cleanses you. Imagine driving to work or walking through your home and blessing the path beneath your feet. Imagine each person you meet as part of the ceremony, each interaction an exchange of sacred energy. Imagine lying down at night and blessing the rest that restores you. Can you feel it? The entire day transformed. Not by what happens, but by how you see it. For perception is the true altar. Every sip is sacred. Every breath is sacred. Every moment is sacred. I live in the eternal ceremony of abundance. I am the sacred vessel of divine overflow. Let the words loop through you like the rhythm of a mantra until silence falls, and in that silence, realize your life is already holy. Your life is already abundant. Your life is already sacred ceremony. And so it is. Beloved one, we now arrive at the great confluence, the merging of every stream we have walked together. You have stepped from ritual into identity, from holding into circulation, from trickle into amplification, from wealth into wholeness, from moments of ceremony into a lifestyle of sacred flow. And now we lift our eyes beyond the self, beyond the personal, into the vastness of the universal current. For flow is not yours alone. Flow is not confined to your body, your home, or even your lifetime. Flow is the rhythm of the cosmos. It is the current that carries planets in their orbits, that guides the tide to kiss the shore, that spins galaxies in their spirals. You are not merely in the river, you are the river, and the river is the universe itself. Imagine the ocean now, vast, endless, shimmering. You stand upon its shore, and as you gaze, you realize every river leads here. Every stream, every drop of rain, every spring hidden in the mountains, they all return to this source. And so it is with abundance. Every gift you give, every act of faith, every blessing spoken, they all return to the great ocean of infinite good, which in turn pours back to you in waves of provision, love, and joy. Close your inner eyes, beloved, and picture yourself stepping into that ocean. At first, the water greets your ankles, then your knees, then your chest, until finally you are immersed, floating, weightless free. The current holds you, carries you, and folds you. There is no struggle here, no striving, no need to control. The ocean knows where it flows, and you are one with it. And now, the most profound realization arises. You are not merely floating in the ocean. The ocean flows as you. Your breath is its tide. Your heartbeat is its drum. Your thoughts are its waves. Your life is one of its currents. You are not separate. You never were. Let us affirm this truth. I am the river. I am the tide. I am the infinite current of divine abundance. Say it once softly, then louder, then as though the ocean itself speaks through you. Feel how freedom arises in this realization. Fear dissolves. Anxiety about the future falls away. For how can the river fear lack when its source is the endless ocean? How can the wave fear separation when it is made of the sea itself? You are inseparable from supply. You are one with the source. You are carried by the universal current of flow. Consider this: every being, every soul, every life is part of this current. Even when one resists, even when one fears still, the current moves beneath them, ready to carry them when they release. And you, beloved, by choosing flow, become a reminder to others. Your overflow ripples outward, calling others into freedom, into joy, into abundance. You do not need to preach, you only need to live. Your very presence becomes a stream that awakens the rivers around you. Pause now and imagine humanity as a vast network of rivers, each one flowing into the ocean of spirit. Some rivers are swift, some slow. Some are dammed with fear, some open and rushing with joy. As you flow freely, as you circulate, as you amplify, you release pressure in the dams of others. You inspire them, you uplift them, you invite them to join the current. This is how the world heals, not by force, but by flow. And so we affirm the current of life carries me effortlessly. I live free from fear, free from striving, free from struggle. I am in harmony with the ocean of infinite good. I am the universal current of flow. Breathe those words deeply as though inhaling the tide itself. Beloved, the final secret is this: when you live as flow, there is no end. Abundance is not a destination to arrive at nor a peak to maintain. It is the eternal movement of life itself. There is always more, always renewal, always circulation, always amplification, always rippling outward, always returning again. And now, as we close this great journey, I invite you to release one last affirmation into the current, not as a wish, not as a hope, but as an identity, as truth, as embodiment. Say it with all your being: I am the river, I am abundance, I flow forever with infinite good. Yes, let it seal within you like a wave that never recedes. And if you are ready, beloved, to live and flow forever, not as a ritual, not as a practice, but as your very identity, speak it now into the great ocean of spirit. I am the river, I am abundance. The universe hears you. The ocean carries your words. And from this day forward, you will never again doubt that you are one with the universal current of flow. And so it is.